Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about what artists could learn from restaurant owners or from food. I mean, it sounds weird, but I think it has a lot to do with actual food itself. So today I ate at this restaurant called Liberty Kitchen. It's one of my favorite restaurants. No, I have to say that it's my favorite restaurant in town. And the owner, Mike, is such an artist that he made me believe that food is a form of art. Making food is no different from making a piece of artwork, and it's so beautiful. And his restaurant, after being open for half a year, became the top ranked restaurant in TripAdvisor. He's super popular and his food is amazing. A lot of people would wait days to have a table in his restaurant. Today I was lucky enough to walk in without reservation, but I have to sit in the bar and I was very close to the kitchen. So I was chatting up with him and asking him, so you're such a good chef, Mike, and you are also such a good business owner because your business is so good. The restaurant is always packed. What is your secret to a successful restaurant business? Small restaurant business, because although it's very successful, it is still just like one kind of restaurant, not a chain. That is very relevant to art business because it's also kind of small business. It's not like a large enterprise. It's not like international business. A lot of times it's just one person owning one place and selling one type of product, which is either food, like American food. Liberty Kitchen, perhaps you have guessed, is American food, but it's like a refined fusion, international, fine dining American food. And Mike, he's a guy from Philadelphia, but he lives in Spain with his Spanish family. Perhaps you have guessed that, or if not, I'm just this is the extra detail I'm talking about. And I asked him because I think what he has to say and advice could be very relevant to individual artists like freelancers, creative professionals, especially who have to do with face-to-face with clients and register as a business, work with other entities. And he told me 3 advice that was so good that I had to write it down on site with food and forks and knife and pen. I was writing it down and I know that I might look a bit silly, but I have got this lovely advice from him. The first advice that he gave was, don't waste food. Plan well and execute with control. And this is very, very relevant to artists because unless you are digital artists, any kind of artworks that you do is irreversible. You cannot reuse the material, you can't strip off the oil from the oil paints and paint again on another canvas. I mean, perhaps you can paint over and use the same canvas, but you can't reuse most of the materials and art supplies that you are spending. So you really have to control and plan and not to waste. And this is also aligned with his values because he believed in not wasting food, not throwing things away, so that it's more ecological and it's something that he would like to do. So he would really plan and control, and perhaps he doesn't have everything. Like when you go there and you order a fish, maybe he doesn't have this type of fish, but he tries to, perhaps invent something else for you. But he'd rather do that than having a lot of fish and not be able to sell them and then having them wasted and throw food away. And I think it will kill him to throw the food away so that he can cut costs and maintain a really good ecological standard for his business. And the second advice is also very relevant for artists, is to make things people like. You are a chef, you have your own business, you don't make the food you like. You make what people like, because that's the most important thing for them, for your customers, to come to your business and to be your supporters. And this is totally relevant because many artists told me that they don't want to paint the works that other people like. They only care about painting works they like themselves. For me, this is perfectly fine, but that's not called an artist as a professional. That is art as a hobby. You are a hobby artist, which is no problem. You can do whatever you want as long as you can afford it and you are liable. For example, I love eating fruits. I love eating apples, and this apple looks so good, so amazing. This is my hobby. Would you pay for me eating the apple? I don't think so. But if I give you business advice, personalized advice, perhaps you would like to pay for the advice so that you can get some value from my work, from what I do. If I'm eating the apple and all the value is just about me enjoying the apple, why should you, as a client, pay for me eating my apple? You see that makes sense? So artists, if you want to be in the market and if you want to work as a professional artist, you have to consider other people's opinions, and you can consider the market trends or gallerist requirements or your collectors' individual kind of requests. This is your freedom. You can pick one area and you say, okay, I do commissioned work. This is the opinion I will listen to. Of course, you can't listen to everybody at once. You can choose. But ignoring all other people's what they say would make you a hobby artist. It won't make you a professional artist. The last advice he gave is that price it in a way people can afford it, so they come more often and they become a part of your community. So in the restaurant business, you can see that there are different kind of restaurants, the fine dining or the fast food, like very cheap, and they have different kinds of pricing. And he could price his food a lot more expensive because it's good enough. Like people would still come, but then they wouldn't become as often because they don't have the budgets, and perhaps they will only come for special occasions like anniversary, birthdays, which is also very cool. But he decided that, look, if I'm gonna have all the fresh food, the vegetables, the fish, if I don't sell them, I waste it, which I don't want. So I'd rather for many people to come many times during the 1 month than very few people come few times and still make the same money. He'd rather have this traffic so more people can enjoy his food, more people can bring more people, and it's mouth to mouth, and then his restaurant is really like popular, has a lot of reputation, and he has a community of loyal supporters, die-hard fans, like I am one of their die-hard fans. So that one day, if they decided to open a second restaurant, I'm going. If they decided to raise their price a little bit, I'm going. If they decided to move another location, I will also go to visit their new location. Just because his food is good enough, is cheap enough, that many people will go there often enough, that is kind of creating a lifestyle. It's creating something that is luxury and very habitual, very common at the same time. And there's like a point. I think there's a sweet point of pricing. If you're an artist, I would recommend you to price your artworks fairly. Not to say price them cheap, but you can have different kind of pricing for different kind of products, from art prints, prints on t-shirts, to hand embellished kind of prints, to original artworks, big and small, limited or not limited. You know, you can play with different formats to price it in a way that more people can afford your art. If only ultra high net worth individuals can afford your art, you are missing out a lot. You cannot be so popular. It's like prints. A lot of artists don't like prints because they say it lowers my value, but no, it grows your fan base, that those people can become your future collectors and they can become your fans, and you're building yourself a community of die-hard fans so they can be always your supporters throughout your art career, so that you have this to grow and they will grow with you. They can share your art with more people, that you can sell more artworks and you can make more money and become more successful in the art world. And it's not just about how much you price for each work to reach the tier that you think that you reach this as like an ego thing. But no, I think there is definitely something that you can play with. Try to find a balance between the more people you can reach and the more money you can make per work. And this is the 3 advice I've learned from Mike, the owner of one of the best restaurants in my city, and I think this is totally applicable for any creative professionals, and I hope you enjoyed his advice. Let me know what you think, and if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe and click the bell button not to miss the upcoming videos. That's all for today. I'm gonna go and eat my apple. See you in the next video.